Think being kind is your greatest strength. It might be your biggest weakness. Discover how excessive generosity could be silently dismantling your life in ways you never imagined. Did you ever stop to think that being super nice might not always be in your best interest? Sure, everyone says kindness is the way to go. From our parents to our favorite movies, throwing out lines like, "Kill him with kindness." But what if I told you that sometimes being too kind could mess up your life? Yes, it's true. As great as it sounds to always be the good guy, too much kindness can lead you into some pretty tricky situations. Think about it. Can being too generous or too caring turn into a bad thing? Absolutely. Being overly kind can be a slippery slope, one that might drain your energy, lead you to trust the wrong people, and leave you feeling less happy than you deserve. So, are you ready to dive into the 7 sneaky ways that too much kindness can backfire? Let's get into it and find out how being Mr. Nice Guy might just be your biggest challenge yet. Ever noticed how being too kind can mess up your conversations? When you're always trying to be the nicest person in the room, it can be super tough to say what you think or need. Ever held back from saying something because you didn't want to rock the boat? That's exactly what I'm talking about. This constant dodging of honesty can create a ton of confusion. Think about it. If you're never really saying what's on your mind, how's anyone supposed to know what you truly want or feel? This can lead to a whole mess of misunderstandings. Isn't it wild to think that by trying to avoid a little conflict, you might be stirring up a bigger storm? Watch out if you're super nice. It's like setting off a flare for narcissists. Do you know those folks who seem to vacuum up all your cash? They feed off of your kindness like it's their lifeline. Being too nice is practically an invitation for them to swarm in. These types of people can sniff out a soft heart from miles away, and once they latch on because of your helpful nature, good luck shaking them off. They'll suck you dry with their endless problems and zero empathy. And while you keep doing out favors, hoping they'll pay it back someday, spoiler alert, they won't. Being the go-to helper might seem noble, but it's also a quick way to get taken for a ride. Think about it. A small favor here, a tiny loan there. It doesn't seem like much at first, but before you know it, you're drowning in everyone else's problems, and they're nowhere to be found when you need a hand. People who like to take advantage see kindness as an open door to ask for money, favors, or just zap your time and energy. And what do you get in return? Absolutely nothing. You're left feeling empty, while they skip off scot-free. Watch out. Being too nice might just be your downfall. Have you ever been swamped because you couldn't say no? Well, here's a wake-up call. Being overly nice can have you drowning in commitments. It's easy to lose sight of your limits when you're constantly prioritizing others. This often means giving everyone else free rein over your time and energy. To stop this cycle, it's crucial to establish some clear boundaries. Start by firmly saying no when something doesn't fit your schedule or feels like too much. Communicate your limits clearly to avoid misunderstandings. And remember, don't overcommit. Keeping some time for yourself is not just important, it's necessary. Setting these boundaries is essential, not just for maintaining your sanity, but also for ensuring you're not taken advantage of. Keep your kindness in check to prevent it from leading to burnout or being exploited. Do you struggle with saying no? You're not alone. Many people find themselves trapped in a cycle of people-pleasing, where their kindness becomes their downfall. If you're constantly agreeing to every request because you're afraid to disappoint others, you might be setting yourself up for stress and exploitation. It's like rolling out the carpet for people to take advantage of your good nature and your inability to say no. But it's time to break free. Start by practicing assertiveness. Think of it as building muscle. The more you practice, the stronger you become. Remember that it's perfectly okay to prioritize your own needs and well-being. And if you can't give a straight no, try offering an alternative that works better for you. Almost like negotiating a better deal for yourself. Saying no is about taking control of your life and ensuring your generosity doesn't turn into a pathway to burnout. Always putting others first. Be careful, as this habit could have severe repercussions on your health. When you consistently prioritize everyone else's needs over your own, you inadvertently start to neglect vital self-care practices. This neglect goes beyond just feeling a little tired. It can lead to significant physical health consequences. You may experience elevated stress levels due to ongoing worry, suffer from sleepless nights, consume nutritionally inadequate meals because you're always eating in a rush, and see a decrease in your regular physical activity due to lack of time and energy. These issues can manifest in a variety of unsettling ways. You might find yourself facing burnout from constant mental and physical strain, suffering from a weakened immune system that makes you more susceptible to illnesses, feeling perpetually exhausted no matter how much you rest, and noticing sudden and unpredictable changes in your weight. Each of these symptoms can be a warning sign that your body is struggling to cope with the demands you're placing on it. It's crucial to remember that being kind and helpful doesn't mean you have to sacrifice your well-being. Maintaining a healthy balance between attending to the needs of others and taking care of yourself is essential to prevent these serious health issues. It's important to set boundaries and ensure that you're not consistently placing yourself last on your list of priorities. This balance is key to a long and healthy life when you can continue to help others without harming yourself. Your relentless generosity might be causing more harm than good to your emotional health. When you consistently put the needs of others ahead of your own, it's only natural to start accumulating feelings of resentment and frustration. After all, everyone has their limits, and continuously stretching yours can lead to some serious emotional backlash. This ongoing pattern of self-neglect can slowly erode your self-esteem, as you might begin to question the validity of your own needs and desires in the face of relentless giving. The emotional consequences of such behavior are far from pleasant. You may find yourself harboring resentment towards those you've been helping, feeling insecure about asserting your own needs, or becoming increasingly anxious about not living up to the expectation of others. Moreover, this can lead to a profound sense of emptiness or a lack of fulfillment and purpose in your life, as if you're losing sight of who you are beyond being a helper. While kindness is indeed a virtue to be admired, it's essential to recognize the need for balance. Protecting yourself from these emotional pitfalls means actively maintaining a healthy equilibrium between being supportive of others and caring for your well-being. It's important to remember that looking after yourself isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity for sustaining your capacity to give without harming your emotional health. So, there you have it, a comprehensive exploration into the less talked about downsides of being excessively kind. While kindness is undoubtedly a virtue celebrated across cultures and philosophies, it's important to recognize that too much of it can lead to some serious complications, from emotional wear and tear and physical exhaustion to becoming a target for those who might exploit your generosity. The consequences of overextending your kindness are real and sometimes harsh. It's crucial to understand that caring for yourself isn't an act of selfishness, but a necessity for maintaining overall health and happiness. Learn to set firm boundaries, say no when you need to, and prioritize your well-being are not just good practices. They're essential for survival in a world where your good nature can be seen as an opportunity by others. Balancing your altruistic tendencies with self-care will help you lead a more fulfilled and less stressful life. If you found yourself nodding in agreement, feeling a spark of recognition, or just pondering the nuances of being too nice, consider this an invitation to change. Share these insights with friends or colleagues who might also be stretching themselves too thin in the name of kindness. Subscribe for more thought-provoking content that dives deep into everyday human experiences to uncover the truths that can transform the way we live.